everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday Club presents Animaybe. I'm Eric.
I'm DJ.
And today we're going to make an anime or anime-adjacent property.
Or we're gonna die trying.
That's probably correct. I guess I have hat one. Should
You have
I
that
start?
one. Yeah. What am I doing?
I don't see it.
I see you have some trouble reading.
No.
Are they rays?
Nope.
They just don't compliment each other?
We might need a third one. All right.
I'm slightly worried.
We have drawn, in this order, music heavy and vampires. Now,
So, is this just Detroit Metal City?
I
think that's what happened in that show.
haven't watched it. No,
Nope.
not exactly.
Same, I haven't.
No, I did watch it.
Oh, you have? Oh,
I have
having
seen it.
watched
It's that one's music heavy, but they're just performers.
Oh.
Like it's like about Kiss, basically.
I know it's about Kiss, but I just assumed that they were...
Except he wants to be in a folk band. But he sort of, through a comedy of errors, ended up in a metal band.
Sounds like a show I went like, what's that third card you got over there?
I didn't draw a third one yet. Do you think we should get a third one? Or do you want to make a show about a band of vampires that also happens to be a band?
I kind of like that already, but do you want to see what we would get?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we're going to go with this.
Do you want to know what that third card was? I'll tell you.
Sure.
But if I say it out loud, it becomes part.
Oh, wait, that's not fair.
Yeah, well, then you have to wait till after we're done recording to find out what it was.
Fine.
Okay, so a music-heavy show about vampires.
Musical vampires. All right. And
That's
then-
Repo, the genetic opera, almost. I'm okay with that.
All right.
Hat 2, what we got?
All right. Wait, what? Wait. We might need some more cards for this.
Let me...
Okay. In this order.
In that order.
All high-functioning alcoholics.
Oh, that works very well with vampires, actually.
Thanks, Ray, for that one.
Really? Or that's a Ray card?
Yeah, that's a Ray card.
That is suspiciously similar to a card that I may have put in way at the beginning. So
That's a good one. But it's also a harem.
I guess we fucking...
But it's also a comedy.
I don't think that any of that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work, but it's just not a lot. It's not a lot of like fuel on that fire. I mean, it's a little bit.
Well, because the bell has been rung, we now move to the next hat. Because a card has told us we must once again use hat 4. All right, so is it my turn to do this time, or
Sure, yeah, you can do this one.
here? I'll let you.
Oh, I get to roll the D6 or D10.
Yeah, please, DJ. Please decide how cruel our fate is today.
You got it, dude.
I just hope it's not 10.
2.
2. Okay, is 2 enough? Do we need to?
I mean, it could just be there's 2 love interests that are going after our main character.
That's hardly a harem, though.
Harem elements?
Tell you what, roll the dice again, and we'll pick which number we like more.
8.
Yeah, 2's fine. You're right.
I said 2 it is. If I had gotten 3, that would have been okay.
Oh, for God's sake! All right, I could see how this will work out.
What did we get, Eric?
Well, okay, first of all, we got a +1.
That's not good.
It's not the worst +1 in here. It's not a great +1. So our +1 for harem
Harem number 1.
harem character number 1, +1 secretly related.
You son of a bitch.
And the card that will accompany that is Crouching Nice Girl, Hidden Yandere.
Crouching nice girl, hidden yandere.
That is correct. That's what the card says.
Why are they crouching?
Like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's a secret yandere, you see.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie.
It's like Secret Hitler, but they're yandere. I mean, you could probably argue that Hitler was yandere. But that's a whole separate show. And the other card is Matronly Companion. So like the person in a school anime who would be the next door neighbor that wakes you up.
Or the older teacher, but not that much older teacher. That
More like-
just has that's really concerned for our main
Not
protagonist.
so much the teacher, maybe the TA.
Yeah,
I think teacher might be a separate card in there.
of course it is.
Hey man, look, I had to make enough cards that no matter how many we pulled, there would always be enough. So that means this has in here at least enough for 10.
Yeah, at least enough for 10 plus a couple plus ones.
Yeah, there might be as many plus ones as there are 10. There's a surprising amount.
My
So we've got our vampire rock
musical.
band.
That are are they a rock band that are all high functioning alcoholics, and this is also a harem comedy.
Right.
Should I grab another card?
I think that we have enough. I think any other card just has the potential to paint us into a corner.
Okay. Let's play in the space.
Let's play in this space. Let's really go to space camp with vampires. Like the movie Life Force. It's about space vampires. Patrick
right.
Stewart was in it.
All right. So, what kind of band are we in?
I suppose technically they don't have to be in a band. There just has to be a music-heavy focus.
Oh, so that what you're telling me is this could be a vampire idol group.
Yeah, or it could just be like vampires that are like really jamming to music.
Okay. So since it's anime, it's either gonna be an actual band, an idol group, or a K-On! Boo, like a light music club.
I don't
For
think
you filthy gaijin out there.
I don't think they can be high-functioning alcoholics if they're in school. Unless we're going to treat drinking blood as an alcoholic-like state, which is the only way to have it work in school setting. But I'd like to avoid that.
Yeah, let's not do that one.
Like, we could
I was just saying.
It is a comedy also.
Yeah, but it's just that those are your three musical anime types, generally.
No, I mean, like, there's shows like... What's that one called? The guy wants to play music or whatever. Is it You Lie in April?
Oh, I didn't watch that one. I was gonna say, wait, there's also that one, like, what was it, Boys on the Slope, or not. Yeah, that was the one. It was in the 1950s, and they're just playing it in a jazz, like an underground jazz bar.
Okay.
But it's like high school students, and
So-
they're like, they really like the song "Moaning."
It could just be about, like picture a story of vampires who are big fans of a band. Like, it could just be, like, a story about, like, a group of vampires who like music. Which I guess is kind of like being in a light music club.
I know that you have no frame of reference for this because you haven't seen the show, but what you said just, like, for some reason, just made me think of the picture of the very beginning of Little Witch Academia, where it's like, the main character is like, when they were very young, they saw a magic show, and they're like, oh, this is so amazing. One day I want to do a magic.
So, now, when you say magic show...
Like, they saw, like, this super famous magician.
Okay, so we're talking, like a Copperfield, not like a Randy Pitchford type of magic show.
Yeah, they didn't see fucking David Blaine doing his street magic.
That's not what I said.
I know.
Okay. It's totally fine to sandbag that. So what do you want to do? Which one do you want to do?
Like, is it that we had, like, a young vampire that went to, like a club or an underground club, like, grunge concert, and it's like, well, one day I want to do a music.
A vampire who will never get older was like, when I grow up, I'm going to be a musician. That statement makes almost zero sense. We might be better off just going with they're a band.
All right. They're a band.
So we have a band of vampires.
Indie rock, obviously.
Okay, let me ask this question then, because this will really set the tone of what kind of band it is. Is this taking place in Japan? Because it has to be a pop band if it's Japan.
But if it's Japan, you get, like, those super crazy fans that I think that's how they get away with, like, getting their victims, because, like, the fans are so rabid that they're able to, like, kind of, like, prey off a couple hikikomoris or whatever.
Is this a horror comedy?
It can be now.
I feel like what we've just created is a horror. Like, this is What We Do in the Shadows, the anime. But they're a band.
It's What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, you don't know what We Do in the Shadows is?
No.
It's an Australian vampire mockumentary.
Oh, okay.
I'll show it to you later. It's like a bunch of loser vampires who are like from various like eras of history, and none of them are suited to the modern world, but they're in modern Australia. And like there's also werewolves that are just hanging out in the city, and the werewolves are pretty nice guys, but the vampires are being shitty to them for no reason. So do you know who Rhys Darby is, the actor?
No.
He's like a real life version of Nigel Thornberry.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I do know who you're talking about.
He's one of the werewolves.
It just reminds me of that New Zealand TV show where it's like a bunch of people that are like the reincarnations, or they actually are the Norse gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, what is that show called? It doesn't matter.
Literally can't remember right now, but like
Oh,
my French,
the Normans?
I think it might be that. Something like that.
The Almighty Johnsons.
The Mighty Boosh.
It's definitely not the Mighty Boosh. I can tell you that for a nickel. So, here's my thing. If it's in Japan, they should be a pop band.
Absolutely.
If it's not in Japan...
Do we have vampire idols?
What?
Do we have vampire idols?
In Japan?
No, I'm just saying, like, not... Do we actually? But are we currently?
The truth may shock you.
Is the show we're making about vampire idols, like a vampire AKB48?
Well, like if it's in Japan, 100%. I think that's what we're doing.
Okay,
if it's
fucking
not,
down.
If it's not in Japan, we should set it in like a New Orleans type place, and they should be like a fucking dive bar jazz band. Because I kind of dig Preacher, the show. And it's got that flavor to it, but
I love that, but not as an anime.
It would be very Bacano if we did it.
It'd be a really dark Bacano, though.
Not necessarily. We have comedy.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but
I'm cool with either one.
I like vampire idols.
Of course you fucking do.
Well, duh.
It's fucking scum.
Say who? You're speaking to the guy who did tour like AKB48's entire discography.
Whatever, dude.
For some reason.
Look, you're a loser. We all. This is established. This isn't new lore.
I got nothing to hide.
So let's start building our stable of vampires. Boys and girls?
Can't be. It has to be one or the other.
Okay, well then one of the love interests can't be in the band, but they're also related to one of the vampires.
One of the our matronly person could be the club owner, or not the club owner. They
have to be the band
manager
manager / Renfield of the vampires.
Yes,
so that they can be the daywalker.
That's 100%.
Are we following traditional vampire rules?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or are these like bullshit Twilight vampires, or are these like Chinese like Zhang Shi vampires that their knees don't work, so they're jumping around on stage?
Yeah, they
that would totally work as a pop group.
And then if you throw a handful of rice at them, they have to bend over and pick up every single one and count it.
Yeah, let's not do that.
No,
I think traditional.
Traditional, whatever.
Let's go.
We got some blade vampires.
Let's go with the Upir vampire model. Yeah. I just stuck my feet into a pool DJ wasn't comfortable swimming in.
Nope.
It's too deep for him.
Yep.
That's fine.
Sitting here with my floaty fins.
Is this a boy idol group?
That we have to decide right now.
We have to decide that right now for sure. If they're boy vampires, then it's a pretty standard like handsome bi shoujo thing. But if they're girl vampires,
God damn you, bi shoujo, you Philistine.
If they're girl vampires, though, that's gonna have some interesting design ramifications that will come up later with the blood sucking.
See, I was thinking of having female vampires, because like then they put on all their makeup and they look normal when they're on stage, but then when they take it off, they're just they look like some vampire ass vampires.
I'm gonna need you to describe a vampire-esque vampire.
Like they're very pale. They like it's almost like because it's a joke, or it's a comedy anime. They go from like basically like Nosferatu to Goku dolls.
You want them to be Nosferatu vampires?
No, I'm just saying like their faces are very just they're vampire ass vampires.
Most conventional vampires are like the traits are that they're considered attractive. Nosferatu,
Okay.
surely are not.
Nah.
Zhang Shi, surely are not. But like you're like, well, they're gonna be pale and they're gonna have like dark hair. And I'm like, you're just describing. Japanese.
No, just like they have like very angular faces. They're not what you one would typically consider attractive.
I'm glad you talked over that thing I said.
I didn't hear what you said.
I know. Good. That's probably for the best.
But yeah, because like, but once they put on their stage makeup, oh, how beautiful!
No, they could be vampire girls. That's gonna make a weird harem.
Well, no, then you have like your Sakamoto-esque like manager or Black Butler-esque manager.
Sebastian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's just what he looks like. It's just a tall dude in glasses.
So now, to be clear, now that the manager's creeping on the vampire girls, I have a logistical question about this harem conception. And you're gonna have to just follow me for a second when I say this. Is the front man of the band the one wearing the harem pants, as they say, or is it the concept of the band that has its own harem?
Concept.
So like the manager really wants to like.
It's not perverse.
It's perverse for sure.
It's not perverse. It's chaste.
No, it's not.
He's Renfield.
It's never
He's Renfield.
Oh God, we'll have to figure out a Japanese version of Renfield Hideyoshi. That could work.
Yeah.
All right, so we're thinking what? 3 vampire girls?
Yep.
So now, just to break this down for you, it's a group of 3 vampire girls. Are the vampire girls related to each other? In like a human sense. Obviously, in a vampire sense, they are. Because of how blood rituals work.
Yeah, see, that's how that do. But
I have a thought for the vampires part of the story, but I want to get to that after we establish the relationships of the human facets.
I don't think they're related.
Okay. So now
that way you can have your episodes delving into each of their backstories.
So we have three vampire idol pop stars. Their Renfield manager who's creeping on them, but in a chaste way. And a younger brother to one of the vampire girls is also creeping on them in a chaste way.
Wow, I hate this.
And he's yandere.
Wow, I hate this.
And I said, do you want him to be boy vampires?
Boy vampires!
It's too late now.
No, it's not.
No, it is.
It's never too late.
We are too far down the rabbit hole. I'm not restructuring this. How long have they been vampires?
I don't like this.
How long have they been vampires?
A long, long time. 100 years, at least.
It can't be 100 years.
Why not?
It can't be 100 years because the non-vampire sibling of one of them has to be part of the harem.
Fuck.
So unless there's a 90-year-old man...
No, because they're not related by blood.
One of them is.
Yeah, so one of them's new.
Okay.
That's our main character. That's our main girl.
So our main girl is
the newest inductee.
Is the new vampire in the vampire clan.
What is we have to come up with a name for the band. That's going to be our episode title most likely.
I don't know, man. If there's one thing I'm bad at, it's naming things.
Oh, I don't like that name.
You didn't say it, so you must...
I know. That's why I'm safe.
So I'm going to while you try to figure out a name for a band,
idol group.
I'm going to seg you into something that I was bringing up with the vampire premise before. So these vampire girls, this coven of vampire witches, idols, they have to work under a company, right? Like they have to be under a label.
Oh yeah.
So the head of the label should be the master vampire, right? And he's making immortal pop stars.
I like that.
And that's the source of vampirism, and that's how all of this is totally able to function normally, because the guy at the top is a vampire, too.
That's our Dracula.
He's a creepy old vampire man. Not, like, sexually creepy, just like, he's Jiangxi.
Yeah, he's like the non, like...
He's just an old man sitting behind a desk being like, this is idol.
So he's the manager from Goku Dolls.
I mean, like, that's sort of similar type of person, age-wise, I guess. Appearance. Do they play instruments, or are they just singing?
They're just singing.
So they have a human backing band, right?
No, they got musical tracks.
Oh, they got this Dr. Worm rocking?
Pretty much.
A drum machine? All right, I'm down.
I mean, it's how... I mean, sometimes, when you get those big venues, that's when you get the live band.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, they're...
I mean, hell, even Hatsune Miku had a band.
You can't prove that.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah?
It was Supercell. If you look at the concert videos, you see the Supercell playing behind them.
Yeah, but Hatsune
behind
Miku...
that glass screen.
Hatsune Miku's not there, so how do you know there's not a second glass screen with the backing band playing on that?
Touche.
Yeah, and people think vampires is the implausible part of the idol industry. Oh, no.
It makes more sense than you think.
Oh, no.
What?
I just thought of something that is very Interview with a Vampire thing about vampires that would really make some waves in the idol industry.
What? This might be the grossest thing said on this podcast.
Well, maybe we'll censor some of that or cut all of it. Well, who knows? So what's the arc of this show?
Okay, obviously within the first it starts off with like in media res, girl getting like bitten by Das Vampire.
I think it's funnier if it starts with like a American Idol style like interview process of wanting to become an idol, and the first episode is just this girl making it through the steps, and then she gets to the final one, and they're like, "Are you ready to sign?" And she's like, "Yeah, where's the paper?" They're like, "Oh no, it's not that kind of signing."
Oh sweet child.
Oh sweet baby.
And then that's what they just like they just hand it down their face and.
or perhaps there's the other two idols in the group have been standing in the darkness of the room the whole time, and then you just see the eyes light up.
Yeah, the eyes light up red,
and then all of a sudden. You get like we have to decide if we want to go with like a visceral thing or more of like a chew type of vampire bite.
Oh, and that took a second to process. Oh.
Just boot that floppy disk in your brain for a second.
Chew kiss.
Well, I feel like
no, it's gotta be some real event. It's gotta be some blood sucking.
It's gotta be one or the other, and
it's gotta leave a mark.
It could be both. I mean, it just depends on who they're biting, I guess. The person who's going to be part of the vampire world.
We need to start making some goddamn decisions. We're pussyfooting around this.
I'm not saying this isn't a decision. I'm saying both is valid because like they could do whatever they wanted because she's part of the cult now. But like fans that they're sucking the blood of backstage during the meet and greet.
Oh, they're not dying?
Well, they don't.
Those people are dead, man.
This is a comedy though.
Yeah, it's a bunch of hikikomori losers. Who cares? You just casually sweep that fact under the rug.
But DJ, the hikikomori is your spirit animal. To say they don't matter is to admit that you don't matter.
No, I accept that my smallness in the grand
okay,
scheme
fine.
Of things.
So they're just ripping the throats out of these guys and drinking them like Four Locos. Now, I gotta remind you that this young girl is now going to become a blood alcoholic for the purpose of this show. A point you keep forgetting.
Yep. Man, am I even here today?
So this show is about this child's descent into immortality and vice. Damn, that was succinct. Like, I'm really...
It's very clear that one of us worked 8 hours and one of us didn't.
It's very clear that to neither of us, but I just looked at like, whoa,
it's a half hour.
We're there already.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like I'm on board with everything pretty much so far. Like obviously there's scummy stuff that has been discussed that got cut out or sort of truncated into shorter explanation. But this is an idea that works.
Yeah. No, I like this so far.
Unfortunately, it's probably very similar to that show neither of us have watched, Zombieland Saga.
I know.
We should probably watch that.
Probably.
Not together, though.
No.
Certainly not mostly naked. We haven't even named these vampire girls. Stage names is sufficient, right? We don't need their human names. Their slave names are all we need. I won't cut that out. I said it. I don't care. Let that silence of you just sink into the audience. Like, what the fuck? Real question that needs an actual answer. Is the aesthetic of the band pop vampires?
Oh. So they're just like really like dressed up as like what? Like gothic Lolitas or what?
I mean, like, I wouldn't necessarily want to throw the
word
Lolita out there, but
I'm just trying to like get an image in my head.
yeah, like pseudo gothic pop band.
Okay, so gothic. Okay,
And there's a sort of light vampire motif. And then once they get off stage, they're just like this fucking horseshit vampire nonsense. And then they're just actual vampires, but even the vampires.
So as soon as they go backstage, they rip out the glow in the dark like plastic teeth or fangs that they have on.
Yeah, absolutely. Their bedazzled fangs.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then what was it? Like the 5 people that per audience they get randomly selected for a meet and greet.
It's got to be 5.
Whatever. Like the 3 people that get randomly selected for a meet and greet every concert.
Mm-hmm.
Always get brought back and then never heard from again.
Right.
That's how losers do in Japan.
That'll teach you. Should have been studying.
Should have had a social life. Well, that way someone would notice when you're gone.
Right. Don't get lost birds. Oh, boy. So this is just like a bunch of like non sequitur episodes then.
Oh, yeah. They're all just like...
They're loosely connected.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like... It pretty much just all stems from like the first episode where it's like, okay, main girl got inducted to the vampire like squad.
It would help to have a certain amount of like, these are the story notes that would get hit in the show, like...
Okay, so we have our harem element. We haven't even done anything with, really.
Yeah, we have to talk about the 2 harem element boys.
Well, what was it? You have like the like weird younger brother or sister, because it's an anime.
I mean, yeah,
that really loves their Ane-san or One-san, however that we're gonna have them refer to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because like now that maybe it's like, nah.
So there's going to be a moment where there's a regular meet and greet where they don't kill them.
Oh, yeah.
And then those people are going to end up killed by the yandere sibling.
Oh, so is yandere's sibling in on this? I mean, if she's yandere, I guess she could be.
Well, it doesn't matter if she knows. She's just like, oh, these scumbags, look what they've done.
These filthy swine, look at them touching her hand.
Right.
Who do they think they are?
So they end up dead, and they died in a way that looks like a vampire, but it's not like the way they're actually killing people. So it brings more heat on them than what they've actually been doing to us. And it creates a huge misunderstanding like a third of the way through the show. So then halfway through, we can bring in the vampire hunters who are hiding in plain sight as talent scouts that are there under the pretense of poaching some of the girls. But really, they just want to stake them, and not in a sexy way. Plot.
And say goodnight, everybody.
Are you kidding? We haven't even...
I know, we didn't even talk about our Sakamoto.
I want to change the thing I said earlier.
What?
I want the master vampire to be a lady vampire.
Okay.
Just because then it makes more sense...
with its internal logic.
Well, one, with the internal logic, but 2, I think it would probably make more sense if they were like grabbing like extra people from the meet and greet for their vampire lord. If the vampire lord was also a lady vampire, to be like, this is why she needed these young dudes for this.
Or is she just like turning them into more Renfields?
Perhaps. It just seems like they try to often show like, what would be the word? Even in like vampire feeding in anime, I feel like they try to make it look pretty hetero.
Yeah, they do.
Which, I mean, I'm okay with either way, but just, like, for the sake of norms, it's probably what would work better. When we run this up the flagpole to the actual people that okay the animes, we're secretly pitching to the real world.
When we send this off to Mr. Crunchyroll.
Yeah, Mr. Crunchyroll, tear down this wall.
Anime should be free.
All right, we need stage names for vampire idols.
Are they just named after famous vampires?
We could do that. How many famous vampires can you name?
Dracula. Alucard.
Those are the same person.
Shut up. They're two different names, though.
They're also both men's names.
Isn't one called, like, Lestat?
That's Tom Cruise from Interview with a Vampire.
Okay.
So Louis, then? The other character of Interview with a Vampire?
I don't know. I don't know any vampire names. You know, vampires is like one of the things of lore that I know the least about.
Yeah, let's use silver to kill a vampire. You said, I'm like, nah, dude, that's werewolves. An actual vampire name would be Akasha. Hence why it gets used in Rosario Vampire.
Okay.
But that doesn't really translate well to a modern stage name at all.
I mean, if they're named after, like, vampire-y things, it's fine. It's like, okay, like, we're named...
Well, what do you want to do? You want to do Monster High, that kids show? Just Draculaura? Is that what you want?
What?
Do you not know what Monster High is?
No.
Okay. Let's just leave that there.
Yeah.
They're like Bratz dolls, but also monsters.
Almost threw up.
Hey, man.
Give us some vampire names, Mr. Vampire.
Well, that's my point. Is I don't think
Mr. Vampire Smarty
I
Pants.
feel like there's not a single vampire name that also works as a stage name.
It doesn't have to be a stage name. It could just be a vampire name. Who cares if it was a man's name? It doesn't matter. They have their aesthetic, their theme. They're just matching the theme.
I don't know, man. I'm
This is like no one cares if it's some deep cut name like some female vampire that was in like a story that someone wrote 500 years ago. They want your Draculas. They want your Nosferatus.
So they want your underworld evolutions.
Exactly.
So Victor.
But more vampire-y.
That was the name of the vampire lord, was Victor. Victor and...
It's not a good vampire name.
Amelia? Amelia sounds like a stage name that would work.
But I don't like it.
Well, you'd probably shorten it to like Emmy. Like...
Yeah, or Ami.
Konbanwa desu ka, Emmy-chan? Disgusting. But that's probably what it would be. It would be like Emmy and Miki and something else.
Miki.
I don't know.
It
just sounds like an idol name that would be used.
You have your Emmy-chan, your Miki-chan, and then like Ami-tan.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with Ami. That's what, sure.
They don't even need real names. Who cares?
So it's a Yandere's sister? Is that what we're...
Okay, it's a Yandere's sister. Like I said, how dare these filthy swine touch her One-chan, or her One-sama.
Touch my pure idol sister? Disgusting. They'll have to shave her head.
They all deserve to die for this. And they will. Hey.
And then Renfield is like, they're so good at music!
I just want to care for them. I just want to make sure they don't get hurt.
I just want to hold an umbrella over them in the rain!
In the sunshine!
We have a whole show, don't we?
Kind of.
We have to touch on the blood alcoholism.
Yes.
Because we keep shying away from what that's doing. But that has to be a lot of the comedy of them almost getting caught.
Okay, so what was it? There has to be at least like the one episode. So there's a couple episodes where after concert you see them eating and then they kind of just get all woozy and then like maybe like main girl is just like, hey, I don't really know about this, and then like that episode ends with her finally like taking a bite and then it cuts to black so you don't see the effect on her. But then like there has to be the episode also maybe like 3 or 4 later where they accidentally feed beef, and they realize, oh wait, there's a concert tonight.
So that's how you end up with like tabloid footage of them looking like super strung out and shit, because they're like blood drunk in the streets. They're just like, Well,
but wait, they're supposed to be high functioning.
They still do the concert, don't they?
That's true. All right.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Okay, are we sufficiently happy with this? Or...
I like this. Eric, Before we get to the names,
Yeah.
would you watch this show?
Yeah, I'd watch this show.
I would watch this show.
I watched
too.
Goku Dolls. I'd watch this. I would watch Zombieland Saga. I just haven't had
Same.
a moment when I was ready for that.
I actually almost watched that instead of rewatching Konosuba, and for some reason I decided on watching Konosuba again.
Yeah, instead of watching any of those things that you're supposed to be fucking watching.
I don't remember what they were.
4+ words.
So the name of our band is...
Oh, yeah, we didn't... you were in charge of that while I was talking about...
Yep, that's exactly what you were talking about. Blood-sucking cuties.
I'll just
that's
put
only 3.
The Idols band would be like...
Oh, because it has to be super on in the nose. That they're, like you said, they're hiding in plain sight.
It would be like Brides of Dracula or something.
The Brides of Dracula?
Well, that's what the band... That's like what a vampire pop band name would probably be.
A vampire core band? Vampire core idol group?
God, I need to listen to more vampire core music.
What?
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 Yeah, you heard me.
That's a thing?
Yeah. Everything's a thing.
Fair.
Don't be stupid.
You're right, I'm the idiot.
There's a wood punk cyborg band, dude. Do you like that band name?
I do. Wait. Mine or yours?
Which one? Well, which one do you like?
I like my dumb one. The blood-sucking cuties.
Okay.
But it's only 3 words. That doesn't
Blood
count.
sucking is 1 word. You fucking gym teacher.
Oh, I guess there is a hyphen. Yeah.
I mean, it could just be like, it's 4+. So.
Oh, 4+.
So it could be like Ami-chan and the blood-sucking cuties. Yay! Or we could make a name that's very biting on the idol industry.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're gonna call the band blood-sucking cuties, that's almost a triple entendre right there. I got nothing.
Ami-chan and the blood-sucking cuties.
All right, so I guess we've established that Ami-chan is the new young front man.
Oh yeah. And for some reason she's in charge. She's the front man, even though she's the newest one.
Well, sometimes
she's the fresh blood. Hey.
Maybe she's just got the charisma, or the other 2 are the ones that might be just playing instruments on stage as well. We never know. Maybe one of them's a drummer and the other plays a guitar.
No, they're a pop group. Pop groups don't play instruments.
Sure they do.
No.
Sure they do.
No.
Sure they do.
You don't watch enough pop groups.
You watch too many.
Okay, so I should know.
No. That's not what that means. Listen,
well, Eric,
man,
we did it.
We did it. It's another anime. Like I said, I'd watch it. You'd watch it?
Absolutely. This sounds great. I might not watch it like day 1, but I'd definitely get around to it. Like, I'm going to get around to Zombieland Saga.
Take us home.
Thank you for joining us again for another rip-roaring episode of Animaybe. If you have any ideas for what we can put in our hats, please feel free to reach out to us in either the YouTube comments for the video, or you can send them to our email address, which is thetuesdayklub@gmail.com.
What's that email?
thetuesdayklub@gmail.com. And we're also on Twitter as the Tuesday Club, and we're on Apple Podcasts.
However that happened.
Under Animaybe, so please subscribe.
Yeah, we're gonna be making these for at least another week.
At least.
Yeah. Well, the sun's coming up, so this show's ending now. Good night. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.